the casual moviegoer that superhero movies will be the most successful and profitable films ever made, even being more popular than franchises like Star Wars, you'd be looked at like a madman. Yet here we are with superhero films routinely grossing over $1 billion in the worldwide box office. Additionally, if you'd told that same casual moviegoer that Marvel will be far more popular than DC, they'd have no idea what you were talking about. That's when the DC fanboy would emerge from the shadows with his Batman logo t-shirt and Superman backpack and lecture you how superior DC is to Marvel in everything. And 10 years ago, he had a leg to stand on. The Dark Knight had just been released, and his pride for his favourite comic hero was at its peak. So what went wrong? In just 10 years, we have gone from the incredible storytelling of Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy to this.
Why did you say that name?
Batman is without a doubt the most famous comic book character, having so many iterations that there's a version of the character in the place of a heart of every generation. And in that lies the problem. Batman is heavily overused.
I've seen you go through similar phases in 2016 and 2012 and 2008 and 2005 and 1997 and 1995 and 1992 and 1989 and that weird one in 1966.
Just to break it down a little so you understand how he's being overused. Since the 1960s, there's been a total of 22 live-action DC TV shows, and in all of them, Batman, or his alter ego Bruce Wayne, has appeared in only 2, those being the Adam West Batman show and Gotham. Now obviously there's nothing wrong with a 46-year break between live-action TV appearances. However, if we move on to the live-action movie appearances, you see him cropping up a lot more frequently. With 32 live-action DC films coming out in the last 50 years, Batman has appeared in 13. Again, there's nothing wrong with that, until you realise that half of those have been released in the last 13 years, whereas the other 7 were spread across another 40 years. But here is where it starts to get a bit ridiculous. In 39 animated TV shows since 1968 with the Batman Superman Hour, the character of Bruce Wayne, or Batman, has appeared in 27, whether it be as a guest appearance or more commonly being as the title character. And the biggest example of this character being horribly overused comes from the DC's animated films. There are a total of 54 animated DC films, and across all of them, Batman is in 49 of them, appearing as one of the central characters. If anyone wants to argue he's not overused, then I simply need to show you the 90% of films where he's integral to the plot. And to round it off, across 147 films and TV shows, the character has made an appearance in 92 of them. A common topic of discussion lately is people are experiencing superhero fatigue, but I argue that's not the case. Instead, what we are feeling is character fatigue. When we see a film starring a character unfamiliar to most audiences, there's a genuine intrigue about who that character is and what they can do. The audiences for Black Panther and Guardians of the Galaxy alone demonstrate this perfectly. Both films feature characters and tones wholly different from one another. Black Panther, as a character, has only one quippy moment in his entire film,
I never freeze.
as opposed to the Guardians of the Galaxy, who are quipping 30 times a second.
Star-Lord.
Who? And you leave it lying around?
I was gonna put it in a box.
What's a box gonna do?
Do you believe him?
I don't know that I believe anyone's 100% a dick now.
Dance off, bro. Me and you.
And then there's all of the Batman iterations. If we remove the clear parodies and the downright failures, we are still left with about 80 or so shows and films to look at. Looking solely at the remaining animated properties, Batman always acts the exact same, deadpan, telling it how he is, barely smiles, overly serious. The reason why Lego Batman was so well received is because it was a new look into the character, a fun parody which showed the character in another light, while keeping his core values and worries at heart. Now you can easily claim that keeping his personality the same is being true to the character, which is an absolutely valid point. However, I'd like to bring the James Bond franchise into consideration. This classic character has been portrayed by a total of 5 actors across 24 films, and each actor has put a moderately different spin on the character. From the smooth talking suave portrayals to the more ADHD takes on the character. There are always something new about the character whenever a new actor takes the helm. You could argue the Justice League Batman is done in the same attempt, to add a little lightheartedness to the character. But for this iteration, the change is too sudden and drastic from the character we saw in Batman vs Superman and Suicide Squad. The Batman in Batman vs Superman was a madman who killed everyone who got in his way. Suicide Squad essentially recreated the events that led him down the path to becoming Batman. The Justice League Batman breaks this iteration's continuity. And the ironic thing is that I like this version of Batman. I'm sick and tired of the overly serious versions of the character we've seen almost 150 times, and a little lightness made him better to watch. I would rather watch this.
What are your superpowers again?
I'm rich.
Than this.
Why did you say that name?
But what they failed to do was show a realistic transition from a mass murderer to a hero. The thing that DC need to do is take a break from Batman. Let the character rest for a while and feature some of their unknown characters. And it looks like they're taking steps to do this. Shazam looks like it's breaking the super dark formula. Wonder Woman inserted some hope and love into the cinematic franchise again. Aquaman doesn't look very interesting to me, and I want to avoid their version of the Flash at all cost. Barry was easily the worst part in Justice League. But that's a video for another day. So in conclusion, DC need to pull back Batman a little. His popularity is going to run out eventually. His star power is already running thin if the box office returns for Justice League are anything to go by. I hope you've enjoyed this premiere episode for Fallen Angels, and if you have, please subscribe to White Sunset for more videos in the near future. Goodbye everyone.